Well, after wasting 30 minutes of time on a stupid fucking video, here's a better video for y'all. Hello, I'm TheZOMBIEJ, and this is a video talking about LEGO making games. They would usually outsource their games to other companies, or other studios, to be published by folks like EA. We all know about EA. They're bad. Very bad. Insanely bad. So they used to have companies make their games for them. You outsource the licenses, and there you go. One notable game is The Legend of Montanui, which was never released for reasons. But it was, the studio behind it was Sapphire. And I don't know who was going to publish the game, but EA published Bionicle the Game, and TT Games published Bionicle Heroes. There were many different publishers and studios for LEGO games. A LEGO game that was pretty bad in execution. It was LEGO Dimensions. It did not work out that well. For me, it was kind of just a waste of time. No one was going to buy every single one of these fucking little statues that you build onto an electric platform, and what's the point of that? It was a waste. It really was. It felt like a waste. To where LEGO Universe felt like a better RPG type of game, MMORPG. Its soundtrack is amazing. LEGO soundtracks tend to be pretty damn good, especially the Bionicle ones. But yeah, LEGO Universe is definitely the superior one out of the two. Didn't last long though, which sucks, but yeah. So LEGO Dimensions loses in this regard. But there are others like LEGO Worlds, which is interesting. Brick Tales, and other modern games that have been made by other studios. But now it seems like LEGO is embracing the idea of making their own games, making these games themselves in-house. They have an internal studio that is probably working on the next few games, and well, they're doing it themselves now. They're making games because I guess they can't seem to trust other game publishers and game studios anymore. And I can't blame them, honestly. There's some bad publishers. I mean, EA are literally the Satan of gaming, and Activision is not far behind. So, where do we go from here in terms of LEGO gaming? Well, we can either embrace this idea from LEGO that they're making their games in-house, and embrace this idea because it's basically they're getting all the money instead of the publishers and other studios that they've previously worked with getting the money, and LEGO getting less than half of the cut. We can embrace this, or we can go back to playing the old games on systems like the PS2. LEGO Drome Racers is a pretty decent racing game. The soundtrack is the best part of it, honestly. LEGO Island Extreme Stunts for the GBA is pretty good. If you have a GBA or a GBA emulator, you can do that. If you have a PlayStation, the original PlayStation, you can play Rock Raiders for the PS1 PlayStation. If you have an N64, you can play LEGO Racers or LEGO Racers 2. Can't remember which one. But one of them is for the N64. So you can do that. Racing game. If you have if you have the Wii, you can play Bionicle Heroes. But it's difficult because the Wiimote and the Wii-Chuck are stupid controllers. They're not that great. To where it's better to control with a actual, legitimate controller. And luckily, the Wii has a Wii Classic controller, and Nintendo was fine with that idea. Nintendo are not happy about emulators, though. What else? Well, you can go back and play the handheld consoles like the Game Boy Color. There's a Lego game for that. It is Alpha Team, I'm pretty sure. And there is Lego Island Extreme Stunts. Wait a minute. No, Lego Island 2, The Brickster's Revenge. I had a Game Boy Color, and I played that game. I couldn't finish it, but I do remember fondly the soundtrack and the graphics. Yep. So, 2022, my uncle basically let me have that Game Boy Color. He was never going to use it. He got it from a friend, I assume, and I had my mom buy me a copy of that game, Lego Island 2, The Brickster's Revenge, for the Game Boy Color, because that's the game I remember having, the only one I remember having. And off of eBay, and it worked. I put new batteries in the thing at the time, and it worked. You know what? I still go back to the game just to listen to the songs, the soundtrack. I posted the soundtrack on my YouTube channel. There's a soundtracks playlist. Go check that out. A lot of stuff there. More stuff to come, possibly. So, it feels like Lego are not interested any longer in working with other studios and other gaming publishers. They'll publish the games themselves, they'll make the games themselves, and basically we just have to accept this because, why wouldn't we? Well, you don't have to. You don't have to accept this. Chances are any game that Lego publishes nowadays will probably be, there will be problems. There'll be bugs, glitches, and other graphical nonsense. But I wouldn't expect them to do anything scummy like microtransactions or loot boxes, which were banned in 2018. Good idea. So, fuck you, EA. Lego making their own games in-house sounds like a decent idea on paper, but will it prove to be a good idea in the long run, or will it just be another way for Lego to make all the cash for themselves? That could be a hard question to answer in the future, but I guess we'll see. As far as the old games, well, you can't play a lot of them anymore, unless you really want to go back to a handheld console like the Game Boy Color or the Game Boy Advance and play those games that were released for that. Rock Raiders was actually released for the Game Boy Advance, and so check that out too. There was some Game Boy Advance, 5 Game Boy Advance games for Bionicle, and 2 of those games have ports for the PC, PlayStation 2, Xbox or Xbox 360, and GameCube. Yes, there are GameCube Lego games. If you have a PS3, you can still play some Lego PS3 games. I would not recommend going back to Lego Dimensions, because it seemed like Lego Dimensions was meant to fail from the start. No one wants to buy up every single one of those little fucking statues to build. There's just no point. It's worthless. It's stupid. Go back and play the 2010 game, Lego Universe. As I've stated, that game is much better, and graphically I like it a lot. Musically, phenomenal score. I'm pretty sure the score is available on CD, so there you go. Hunt it down and get the CD copy. And spin it for ages. But there's always a sticking point. And that sticking point is the cost of these games and the systems to run them. The prices for used items, they go up. They will go up no matter what. If someone wants to sell a Game Boy Color on eBay, chances are they will sell it for, depending on the condition, and if it worked or not, chances are they'll sell it for $100 or more. And that's a little bit pricey for a system such as the Game Boy Color. I'm not expecting anything good to come out of that, but if you really want it, you can spend the $100, if you have $100, to get that system. And you can get Lego Island 2, The Brickster's Revenge, for possibly around $10 or $15 or more, depending on if it has the box and the instructions and everything else. Possibly a poster, I don't know. It's pricey to have to get the old systems and the old games. But it's worth it if you want a good LEGO gaming experience that is not full of sin, basically. Evil big business tactics are still just being used. And LEGO is no stranger to this. They're a business, they're a corporation, they're a company. And a company needs to make cash. What better way to do that than to make everything more expensive? Charge for DLC as well. That's a thing. But nobody truly needs the DLC. It's just extra bullshit that you don't need. It's like expansion packs in a way. Expansion packs, for example, for Medal of Honor Allied Assault, the base game is perfectly fine. It's great. It's fantastic. But Spearhead and Breakthrough are great expansions. Breakthrough is much longer, twice as long as Spearhead. And they both focus on different individual soldiers in different settings of World War II. Locations and time. So those feel like a nice extension of Allied Assault. To where DLC, even nowadays, just feels like microtransactions up the anus. And it's getting more costly. Way more costly. And the companies aren't doing anything to help it. They just want to go along with the flow and just continue to pump out all this DLC stuff and try to make a borderline profit of $5 per DLC pack. Okay, maybe that's a little unrealistic, but the numbers are confusing for me, so it's hard to justify getting DLC anyway, because DLC, it just feels like worthless extra junk that you don't need. So, what else does there need to be said about this? Go play the old games, if you can find them, on eBay for a decent price, as well as the systems they are meant for. If you have an N64, you're awesome. You're already one step ahead of the game. But if you want to embrace LEGO's new games that are coming out, that are being made in-house, well, don't. Just don't. Chances are they're not going to be that great. They're going to be shit. They're going to be pricey, obviously. And they're not going to give you a true LEGO experience the best way, or the way that old games used to. Look at The Legend of Montanui again. Rebuilt as it is nowadays. Or Alpha Team. or Rock Raiders, or Lego Island Extreme Sets, or Drone Racers. All those games, and hell, even Bionicle the game, offer fun, unique experiences. Lego Racers 2, and Lego Racers 2. Both Racers and Racers 2 are great games. The soundtracks are great too. There's so much to be had with Lego games. And if Lego wants to make them themselves, just so that they get all the money this time around, well, that's fine. But this just feels like another example of a corporation just trying to get a tighter corporate grip on everything they possibly can, including video games. And the gaming industry is already full of shit. It really is. Call of Duty is not getting any better. No. And Battlefield is coming out this year. There's a new Battlefield game apparently slated for this year. I wouldn't be surprised if it actually came out next year. So, yeah. And there are other random, strange games coming out that I am not interested in. What do you think? Is Lego making games in-house a good idea to you, or is it a bad idea waiting to be bestowed upon all of us? What is your favorite Lego game? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you defend Lego Dimensions for any reason other than your own just personal interest in the game, stop. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one, everyone is one, so are you, and so am I, apparently. So, Lego games are weird. Some of them are weirder than others. Comical, silly, fun. But it's not always going to be comical, silly, and fun. Sometimes it's just made for cash, and that's all companies care about anymore nowadays. If they don't care about making cash, well, companies, show it. Prove to us that you actually don't care about making cash. Show us and prove to us that you actually care about your damn customers than making a borderline profit. Prove it, and maybe we can talk. For now, I am TheZOMBIEJ. I'll see you folks there. Have a good fucking day, and peace.